My commentaries are meant to provide counter-arguments, provide suggestions on how to improve, and entertain by any means necessary. If I come off as harsh, it's not for the sake of acting as such. I do not condone anyone watching this video to attack the subject matter, whether it be by pestering them to watch my video or just be rude in general. If anything does end up happening, which it shouldn't, I will forward my apologies and hopefully we can work something out. This disclaimer only exists because I don't need people assuming that I'm out to seek attention or to cause drama or witch hunts or whatever, because I do not.
Alright, so, shoutouts to Best Buy for not having any goddamn TVs. Yep, good. I love it. All they gave me was this fucking washing machine, and all it says is Kappa on it. Yeah, sure, I'm fucked for quality television, but at least I can watch the same clothes I wear every day, so hey, good trade, I guess. Ah, fucking whatever. I'm just gonna load it up and contemplate my life up until this moment. Alright, because of course it explodes, just like every single fucking thing on the planet. You know what? I think I'm dreaming. There's no way this can happen to anyone ever, so yeah, I'm just gonna wake the fuck up now. You know what? This is too boring. I'll go back. Okay, what did I miss? What the fuck is going on? Why are my pictures and not a live action thing? Well, okay, at least I'm my waifu, so I guess that balances things out, but how did I even get here in the first place? Why is this house so much nicer than mine, and why is there a corpse sitting right here? Oh, fuck, he's alive! You are fucking kidding me. Oh, Jesus, you sound just like me. Yeah, what a wonder. I have to confirm my suspicion, though. Where did you come from? That time machine over there? Of course it's a goddamn time machine, why wouldn't it be? Okay, well, I think I have the answer to what I was thinking. Before you do, can you at least tell me who you are? Glad to know we're on the same page here. Yeah, I am you. You're in the future, and this is me right now. Okay, sure. Wait, we're the same person? Did you not catch that? No overreaction? Nothing? Look, today's been pretty weird. I met these guys and an elephant, and it's just been all sorts of fuck, so I don't know what to expect. Although it's almost 2015, and now I'm seeing the future digital pioneer, so it's crazy no matter what. Oh, that far back? Do I change my name again? Hey, are you sure you don't want to know what's different in your life up until now? Because a lot does indeed happen. Go on. Well, this is almost mid-2017, and I'll give a TLDR on what's different. You still try to make countdowns, you meet a bunch of cool people, you meet some of your current friends in real life, and you have a bunch of new videos in your forte. Most notable type is commentaries. What? Basically, you take a bad video and critique it, make memes. It's pretty fun, not gonna lie. Sounds fun, but why not just do it in the comments? Because videos are more fun to make, and there isn't a goddamn law that says otherwise. Okay, look, I was gonna hit this video by myself, but since you're here, I think it's gonna be a lot more fun to do a co-op. Look, you're in a community where people just love your goddamn memes, and considering how past me is sort of a watered down and a bit more cringy version of what I am now, wow, thanks. It's two ties in one video. What can go wrong? A lot of things, actually. That's the spirit. Now let's do this Alright. Look, let me take a closer look at this. Hey, careful. This thing's kind of fucked. Do I look scared? Oh my god! Wait, wasn't this something that those three weirdos told me about?
Hey, just listen here, boys. Be a bit careful around this here machine, because if you get caught in some sort of explosion, it'll do some weird things to your looks. Not like scars or burns, it's like a weird something, I don't know.
Can we just skedaddle out of here already? I want to invent gyros with sprinkles, or, heroes.
Let's go get the food.
Oh, yeah. Well, he should be Oh, no! What? Spit it out, you Oh. Alright, it'll take a bit to accustom to something that's not my OC, but at least it's something I really like. Something you... Ty. Listen, don't get mad at me when you experience some quality later down the line. Implying that's even quality, I become idle trash? Yes, you do, and I'm not implying anything. I'm straight up telling you. Alright, let's roll this bitch. Oh, I forgot how much I resented Love Live. Those are some times. I'm not okay with this! Listen, you'll learn to appreciate the honk. So does this mean Yang's not your waifu anymore, or do you just have more than one waifu? I thought that you only loved one and one alone. It's fictional characters! I can have a harem all I fucking like, who cares? Okay, God, let's see what this video's all about already.
Okay, what the heck am I doing here? 1 minute I'm defending myself from a Little Mac wannabe, and now I'm whoever this is.
Huh? Oh. You know, I should be surprised. I should be questioning why you're here, but this place has virtually no logic to it anyway, so stuff like this becomes the norm. At least it's not another Mexican orphan. Or I got a pile that needs disposed of.
Hello? Can you speak up? Or, like, not have your music close to the same volume as your voices? No, seriously, it makes it pretty hard to understand you when you're pretty mumbly and with your music as loud as it is.
An audio balancing criticism. That's fucking rich coming from you.
Oh, come on, we're the same person. We know I'm not that bad.
Well, you're not that good either.
Well, go fuck yourself.
Alright, where do you want to meet?
Dude, not even I would fuck me in this weird self-cessed masturbation fanfic.
Aside, I get that from the little I've seen of you, Kurome, you were much worse with your audio as you were quiet as all hell, but you still have a ways to go. I don't know if it's your accent or your mic or both, but in more cases than I care to count, you don't articulate very well. All I got from that was something about a Mexican, so congrats, you made me stop giving a shit about your premise and we're not even 30 seconds in the video.
I love how you only got Mexican from that.
Listen, we all gotta get something to fuel everyone's Donald Trump masturbation handbook.
Donald Trump? Really?
Yeah, what's up?
Isn't that a bit obscure of a reference?
Obscure? What do you mean? Oh.
What, is he like super relevant or?
Look, I'll just say this. Everybody's fucking stupid.
This is gonna be one of those days. Hello!
Okay, I'm questioning the age of this video now. Are you sure we're covering something relevant? What the fuck? Seriously? You live in a time period that is well beyond me and you can't even make something good from it? Even the guys I knew that were worse off with editors where I come from don't have as cancerous garbage as this.
Well, okay, to be a bit more fair, nobody really has to make these super ball-busting try-hard edits like you and I do. After all, simplicity is not a bad thing by any means. But even when you're going for something more simplistic, this is still shit. Hey, digital dickhead, lead us off again.
Well, I don't know if I can agree with the simplicity aspect.
You will later!
But at least attempt to go further. I can recognize Sony Vegas from a mile away, so I know that you have access to various media generators that can be used as some sort of background, and a fuck ton of effects that can mesh with the text. Hell, even outside of Sony Vegas, you probably have video clips of those two characters. At least I think you do. I don't know who they are. Ty, can you vouch for that?
Sure can! And hell, even taken away from you can do more, that still leaves the issue that your syncing sucks approximately 80 dicks per second. I think you tried to make something as clusterfucked as this right here, because Monica's pictures come in before the main tune even drops, the rest of your pics are offbeat as hell, and to top it all off, it just crashes and burns with no transitions and straight into the commentary, without any leeway. Now look, I get that editing isn't the most important aspect in the world, especially for videos that revolve around using avatar pictures, but these are such simple fixes and barely require any tenacity for your edits that I'm surprised you didn't fall asleep mid-edit and decided to render as soon as you woke up.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, it's Kurome Towa with another commentary. And today we're dragging along another commentator I met at the hospital, oddly for the same bullet-related injuries caused by doodle tones. That said, why don't you introduce us to the video we're covering there, partner?
The video we'll be covering today is by a PokeTuber by the name of goes by the name of Almighty Mandals.
PokeTuber by the name of goes by the name of, yep, me too.
Well, that is referred to as DigitalTy. I guess that the English language is that also means bad.
Well said, that was, it also means terrible.
Thanks, man. Wait a sec, we're hitting a commentary on a commentary? Dude, that's so strange.
No, it fucking isn't! Shit!
Number 10. Jellicent. Let's get real here for a moment. Were you ever really doubtful that Jellicent was going to be overpowered once you laid eyes upon this glorious mustache?
So having a stash makes it overpowered? Oh gosh, what does that mean for other Pokemon with hair-like features? Purple Pass is going to kill us all!
Oh please, that porn stash doesn't compare to the fabulousness that is Cricketune. You should know your real enemies.
Cricketune a bad Pokemon, though.
You're a bad Pokemon! Oh, fuck, you just got bad Pokemon, bitch!
I want to die.
Hey, I'd create a paradox.
Are you saying that you have the balls to do that?
Good point. Let's move on.
Here at Mandals Incorporated, we take style very seriously, and Jellicent easily gets an A+ in that department. Seriously though, if you want more than just a sweet stash, Jellicent also earns himself the title of Overpowered. Jellicent has a unique typing of Water Ghost, which provides it with a number of nifty things. This includes giving it access to Will-O-Wisp as well as the ability to block Rapid Spin.
So right here, Mandel shows us that he knows the move Will-O-Wisp exists. Keep this in mind, it's going to be important soon.
He also apparently knows that Rapid Spin exists. This will be important later too.
And please, dear viewers, keep in mind this whole notion too.
Is this a thing that people do? Just stop the video, say something that will be saved for later, and then continue not really doing anything to what's happening now?
Way too much. Oh. I gotcha.
Jellicent's ability to be a spin blocker and keep entry hazards on the field makes it almost a staple Pokemon to have on your team. Jellicent can also be a pest by using Taunt, which is great too. Recover is also a hilariously annoying move that Jellicent has to its name, so that should be abused as well. The Pokemon's attack isn't really anything to write home about, but what Jellicent lacks in physical prowess, it makes up for in obnoxious utility. And it's got a mustache. Did I mention that part yet?
So I noticed that despite you praising Jellicent up to this point and saying how it's so overpowered, you fail to bring up any of its weaknesses and counters. Well, let's see. In terms of Pokemon Black and White alone, the one to bring up is Galvantula, who outspeeds it and pretty much sends it packing with Thunderbolt, or, you know, if you're unfortunate enough to deal with one with Compound Eyes, the always terrifying Thunder.
Oh yes, because one Pokemon suddenly makes his points about how good Jellicent's utility is completely debunked. Hey, have you ever stopped to consider one of the biggest reasons as to why a Pokemon is as good as it is because of how their kit can handle a good majority of the cast? Yeah, there are counters, no duh, but consider the chances for your scenarios to even happen in the first place.
Let's take a look at your Galvantula example too, because even that has some holes in it. You said that a Galvantula with Thunder can send a Jellicent packing, right? Well, after taking a trip to the good old damage calculator, we can see that it's not guaranteed to be the case. Even when it's a Galvantula at the highest possible special attack going against a Jellicent at the highest possible HP and special defense. And even if we're talking about other electric types with higher special attack stats like Rotom and Jolteon, it just leaves me with the burning question of why the fuck are you using a Jellicent against a strong electric type in the first place?
If it's a last Pokemon scenario, then yeah, I'd get that, but you still have plenty of Pokemon to switch to and balance out your counters. It's almost like, get this, we're playing Pokemon or something.
And now that I think about it, you never brought up Jellicent's abilities. Jellicent gets Coast Body, which allows it to disable a move that hits it with physical contact, and Water Absorb, which allows it to heal damage from water-type moves. You know what move was popular in Generation 5? Scald! You could have easily mentioned this, but you didn't.
Maybe I'd give you that, but it would make Kurome's counterpoint less effective because so far he exists to point out how each of Mandle's candidates aren't effective choices. So essentially, you're giving Mandle's more ammo on why Jellicent is overpowered. Not to mention that, since Jellicent is gaining more health with Water Absorb, it would mean that it would be even less likely for Galvantula to kill it. I mean, he could have mentioned it, and you're not wrong, but neither am I, bitch.
Number 9, Chandelure. I know what you're thinking. Mandals, come on, how could a Chandelier Pokemon possibly be overpowered? Good question, viewer, but the answer to that is simple. Chandelure is an absolute bulldozer in terms of special attack. And after all, the Pokemon does absorb souls by hypnotizing targets with its flame, so naturally you'd assume it could deal some damage. Unfortunately, special attack is kinda where Chandelure's strengths, and since its other stats are kinda meh. However, a 145 base special attack more than makes up for that, and you'd be a fool not to be spooked by that. Chandelure also has a sweet immunity to fire, fighting, and normal moves. Honestly though, at the end of the day, Chandelure's best asset is the Pokemon's ability to knock out opponents ludicrously fast. And your pal Chandelure really becomes a threat once you throw a Choice Scarf into the equation. Once you do that, I guarantee you'll have full faith in Chandelure and you'll be convinced that the Pokemon was indeed overpowered.
Oh yeah, I'm sure nothing can touch Chandelure if you have Choice Scarf.
Oh, you are? You're positive about the remark that Mandles didn't even imply about? Where in this portion does Mandel suggest that nothing can touch Chandelure? He touched upon Chandelure's immunities, yeah, but he never said that nothing can touch it. Hell, he even said that Chandelure's other stats aren't the best in the world, so what are you trying to add here?
He's really got us beat there. I have no idea what Pokemon is set up against what you're describing. Well, I mean, there is one I can think of. Yeah, this thing right here. Perfect counter to your little Chandelier. Rips it into pieces like it's his last resort. Especially with Speed Boost, Protect, Waterfall, Crunch, Earthquake.
Okay, well you aren't exactly wrong on this, except for the whole lone example bit, but we already covered that. Let's comment on a couple things. Admittedly, they aren't the most significant points in the world, but I still think they're worth a mention.
First off, noticing a pattern yet, they play this segment in its entirety and then interject. I can understand not having anything to say until the end or just saving up your points until the end, but can you at least cut some of the needless shit or speed it up? This shit's flow breaking, it only leaves me to give less of a fuck in the long run.
Also, to expand the lack of flow this video has, the Sharpedo bit as a whole kinda sucks. Not only are the abrupt cuts distracting, but there's also pauses before the music even plays, which makes this joke feel more like we're just itching away at the video. Why not play both your quips and the Jaws music at the same time? Hell, you even do that for the third portion, so why not do the same thing for the entire bit? Your joke argument hybrid would flow much better and make me feel more engaged.
So does comedy like die in your time period, or?
Hey, I remember struggling with countdowns in your time period. You wanna make a top 10 reasons why that's fucking ironic?
Jesus God, is this the only comedy between us? Just you constantly poking shit at me?
I'm part commentator. It's an elaborate way for self-deprecation. You'll know when you're older.
What does self-deprecation mean?
Don't forget Kurome, Samurai was popular in Generation 5 too, and it got the move Aqua Jet, which was Stab. Also don't forget all the ghost types that had the move Shadow Sneak.
Oh, let me guess, we're gonna keep this in mind too? God damn it.
Its ignorance is so bad, I want to hang myself with a...
Why?
Shit!
Hey kids, do you like biological warfare?
No!
Reuniclus does too! This bulbous Bioblob blasts away opposing Pokemon with intense force. Don't let its happy face and cushiony, huggable appearance fool you. Reuniclus will take you out the minute you let your guard down. This is of course thanks to the Pokemon's 125 base special attack. And remember how I said the Pokemon looked cushiony? Well, it isn't half bad at absorbing damage with that HP stat, so I suppose the Pokemon's appearance makes quite a bit of sense. Unfortunately, this also means that since the Pokemon looks like molasses, it tends to move at that kind of speed too. But this was also during a time where Trick Room was still somewhat relevant, and Reuniclus has full access to that move. This move makes its pitiful 30 base speed feel a million times more potent. Reuniclus also has the ability Magic Guard, which is flat out an amazing thing to have. Its move pool is also boundless, and on that note, I'm pretty sure you know why this thing should be feared.
Yeah, that's great and all, but there are several dark types that could wipe the floor with Reuniclus even with Trick Room active. Especially those who actually benefit from said Trick Room themselves, like, oh I don't know, Crawdaunt or Cacturn.
Notice how both Crawdaunt and Cacturn are faster than Reuniclus, and how Trick Room can flip the speeds of all Pokemon on the field, meaning that if Reuniclus survives, then it can use the Trick Room and or kill them in one shot with Focus Blast.
Well, after running it in the damage calc, Kurome's point is half correct. Yes, Crawdaunt can one-shot a Reuniclus, even with max HP and defense. Cacturn, on the other hand, doesn't have such luck, even with moves like Foul Play, Dark Pulse, and Sucker Punch. Hell, Sucker Punch is even worse off because it can only hit when the opponent is using an attacking move, meaning that if Reuniclus uses Trick Room, the Cacturn would be giving the Reuniclus a free turn.
Also, don't forget Shadow Sneak is still a popular move. And for a Pokemon that's so good at sweeping, hey Kurome, you wanna tell him what the base accuracy of Focus Blast is? You know, the move that's good at dealing its main weakness.
Oh, you mean the move with 70% accuracy, which translates basically into, lol, you're never gonna hit them in that move, cause fuck you.
Well, last I checked, 70% and never aren't the same, but details.
Also, he mentions Magic Guard in this entry, but doesn't explain what it does. Great job, 7.8 out of 10 IGN, too much failure. Kind of like Kurome's taste in waifus.
Oh, so you're gonna tell us that Magic Guard prevents indirect damage like weather, status elements that aren't confusion, leech seed, entry hazards, and even life orb recoil? Are you? Yeah? Alright.
But didn't you say not that long ago how Jonah was giving Mandals more ammo by stating how he could have brought up Jellicent's other abilities?
Yeah, but Jonah's method of going about this time was lazier since at least then he bothered to bring up what those abilities even did. Here he just said, lol, no explained, and moved on. Not explaining actually bites him in the ass since he got onto Mandals for not explaining it, so fucking, I guess I have to do the dirty work for all these shitlord commentators that can't be fucked.
Number 7, Bisharp. It shouldn't take long for you to take a gander at this Pokemon and immediately think to yourself, huh, yeah, that thing, it looks a little overpowered. And would you expect less from a Pokemon that would impale you instantly if you tried to give a big ol' hug? Despite Bisharp looking like he would put the entire attack on Titan Cast to shame, the Pokemon also works quite well mechanically. First off, Steel type, baby. It's debatably one of the best types to have due to its resistances, and Bisharp's got it. Next up, boom, attack. He's got it. This allows it to rip apart opponents' pro Genji style with more moves than I care to count. Notable ones are Iron Head, Sword Stance, and the devious Sucker Punch. And if you want to be even more of a devious little you can set up Substitute at the right time to get a few Sword Stances off. And then, when the other Pokemon doesn't expect it, bam! Sucker Punch right to the Pokeballs. Bisharp does fight dirty, but it's also undeniably effective.
Again, you fail to bring up the most obvious of counters. A fighting type that can withstand Sucker Punch, which is basically most of them, will almost one-hit KO it with a good fighting type attack, so I don't see where you get the impression something so definitely afraid of a goddamn fist is overpowered.
Gosh dang it, Kurome, do you want to call a One Punch Man fan invite to us? And also, Sucker Punch? Didn't he bring up a move earlier in this video to counteract that?
Giving it access to Will-O-Wisp.
Oh yeah, something like that.
Burning Bisharp would half its attack, rendering it useless. I mean, sure, you could put a Lumberry on it, but one, you didn't mention that, and two, why would you run anything on it but Focus Sash?
So you admit that Focus Sash is a thing, and a very good thing at that. Which can make a Pokemon survive a move that would normally kill the Pokemon in one hit if the holder has full health. So wouldn't that invalidate Kurome's point about fighting types being the banes of its existence since it can also get Aerial Ace and Psycho Cut?
Also about the Will-O-Wisp thing. Yeah, Lumberry does exist. Not to mention that people would run Lumberry on that to prepare for the burns. I get that you think Focus Sash is a better option for it, and hell, I honestly think the same way, but it's sacrifices like those that you have to make when running a Pokemon team. You can make just about any call when holding an item depending on how you set up the team, and you can certainly make it work.
Shit! Number 6, Conkeldurr. If you're a fan of the rippling biceps and manliness of a champ, chances are you also fancy yourself a Conkeldurr. This testosterone-fueled madhouse could probably punch this universe and send it spiraling out of existence. Yeah, we're talking that manly. Most fighters smash you into concrete, but Conkeldurr, screw that, he smashes you with the concrete. How's he capable of this, you might ask? Well, I'm sure it has something to do with that godly 140 base attack. Hey, he's gotta lift those columns somehow, dude. Also, you'd think a boring old fighting type like this would have limited access to moves, right?
Wrong.
Of course, he comes with all of your bread and butter fighting moves like Mach Punch and Drain Punch. However, the Pokemon can also use moves like Earthquake, Stone Edge, and all of the elemental punches. You know, typical god stuff. Conkeldurr's slow, but can outspeed you with Mach Punch. It's kind of fragile, but can heal with Drain Punch. This monster absolutely screams meta, and I rest my case.
Don't rest just yet, Mandel, because there's a glaring issue with Conkeldurr and you should know it. It's pretty strong attack-wise, yeah, but it's slow as hell, meaning you need to use Mach Punch in its moveset. And while you did mention Mach Punch, here's the problem with it. It's not a strong move, honestly.
Yeah, but...
Don't forget Kurome, Stamilot was popular in Generation 5 too, and it got the move Aqua Jet, which was Stab. Also, don't forget Shadow Sneak is still a popular move.
Just fucking take all the credit, why don't you?
Somebody's gotta do it, and it's not gonna be you!
If you're face-to-face with a Psychic type like Gothitelle or Reuniclus, they can take that Mach Punch just fine and send your ass into oblivion with a psychic move. Mind over matter, as they say.
If you're face to face with a psychic-type Pokemon as a Conkeldurr and your first instinct is to Mach Punch, then just clamp your dick with your DS and take the fucking L.
I know what you mean by mind over matter. Now, do you?
The only way to do more damage then would be to rely on Guts. And even then, that'd be a problem, because in Generation 5, Burn did more damage than it did in Generation 7 when it got nerfed.
Wait a sec, there's a Gen 7?
Yep, and it's pretty goddamn great so far.
Nice. Yeah, anyway, so what that the damage was nerfed in the new gens? That's the whole point of Guts. It's a risk-reward ability. The risk being that you take damage each turn, and the reward being that you get more attacking power. Saying that burns are better handled in the later games actually shifts the argument away from Gen 5 and further in favor of Conkeldurr. If you want to argue why it's not overpowered in Gen 5, then stick with Gen 5.
And also, Conkeldurr relies only on physical moves, so good luck against any Pokemon with a Rocky Helmet.
Drain Punch. Just Drain Punch.
3 evolution stage dragon-type Pokemon. Practically every generation has got them, but the question is Gen 5's edition any good? Good God, yes! I know it's probably crazy at this point to introduce a Pokemon with an even higher base attack, but I've got one for you. Haxorus sports a whopping 147, which is just disgustingly good. And since dragon moves are some of the best to begin with, a stab Haxorus is capable of pretty much one-hitting anything it darn well pleases. This does, however, mean the Pokemon has to outspeed the opposition, but this isn't incredibly hard to do. A 97 base speed is solid, and though you might have to build Haxorus as a glass cannon, I say it's worth it with these numbers. I've gotta say, I just love Pokemon that are strong for these reasons. They're just not hard to figure out. Big attacks that have high damage numbers attached to them, give them a good item, and finally unleash the pain. What, did you expect something different from a Pokemon with blades for a face?
I'll admit you're pretty accurate with the strong points of Haxorus pre-Gen 6, but there is one little thing I'd like to point to your attention that was, especially in Generation 5, the biggest threat to it, and fellow dragons. Pre-nerfed Heal/Blizzard combo.
Cool! Now, tell me how often you're gonna come across that. I'll wait.
No, even better! Tell me what Ice-type Pokemon are faster than Haxorus and have access to Hail. Okay, now tell me their defense stats. Now tell me what can hold a Focus Sash and learn Superpower, Iron Tail, and Rock Slide. Yeah, rip!
Number 4, Ferrothorn. Most people would probably label this Pokemon as a Fortress clone, but I'm here to say no! No, I love this spiky menace. Don't you just want to hug it? Okay, bad example. Maybe this thing isn't that huggable, but that's also kind of the point. Ferrothorn is built for giving anti-hugs. No Pokemon wants to touch this thing, and that, my friends, is exactly Ferrothorn's winning strategy. If a Pokemon was to make physical contact with this bladed menace, it'd lose a chunk of its own health due to Ferrothorn's iron bars. And it'd lose even more health if Ferrothorn was sporting a Rocky Helmet. On top of this, thanks to Ferrothorn's immense defenses, in some cases the attacker will end up taking more damage than Ferrothorn itself, especially when you consider the fact that it has Stealth Rocks and Spikes. This right here is a true vampire Pokemon.
There is one simple way of defeating a Ferrothorn without worrying about any of that nasty damage from Iron Barbs and Rocky Helmet. How, you may ask? Simple. You simply...
Oh God!
What?
Fucking loud flame high in our jokes! Ah, gross!
Uh-huh.
Number 3, Volcarona. There are so many good things that Volcarona has going for it. The first being the fact that, frankly, the Pokedex makes this guy sound like a god. Statements such as, it is said that Volcarona's fire provided a replacement for the sun, and thought to be an embodiment of the sun, have already got me interested in the Pokemon. Next, it's the first bug fire type and pulls off this combo really well. Okay, that's not an important detail, but it's dope, alright?
Actually, the typing's really important here if you pay attention. Since you're saying the Sun God bug here is overpowered, its typing spells out a perfect counter for you to use against it. Rock-type Pokemon. Yeah, that is in fact important to the argument.
Even putting aside the core weakness to rock, there's bad weaknesses to water and flying. So really it is an easy bug to squish.
You guys missed the point. When he says that it pulls off the typing well, he obviously meant that in regards of how good the stab is, with it being able to handle bug, steel, grass, psychic, and dark types. And he even goes into its access to both its dancing moves, Quiver Dance and Fiery Dance. Just because there are weaknesses, it doesn't mean that the Pokemon suddenly can't pull off its typing well.
A crafty bugger that can do all sorts of annoying things with its huge defense stat.
Wait. That's it. It has a good defense stat. Hey, come on, man, you want to inform the kids at home about its great ability before I turn this guy into a ghost?
So I heard you want to attack this Pokemon head on. Well, that's fine, but I hope the Pokemon didn't depend on its ability to be useful to you, because now it's changed the mummy! That's right, your ability gets changed when you physically touch this thing to an almost useless ability that you can only get rid of by switching out or being hit with a physical attack by your opponent's next Pokemon.
First of all, it was just his honorable mention, so quickly highlighting the Pokemon's best attributes is a no-brainer.
And secondly, what does talking about its ability even add to the discussion? I mean, Mandels did say it was a crafty little bugger, so shouldn't that imply that he also was referring to its ability? I sorta get you were trying to say that it should have been on the list, but you could have shortened this rant.
Shortening rants. That's cute.
Stop talking.
Also, it's not like it makes that much of a difference anyway. Even if Mandels did put it on the list, you guys still would have pointed out counters to pass it off as a reason for suddenly not being OP, so, you know.
Also, the lack of Electros even as an honorable mention depresses me, given how it doesn't have any weaknesses other than being hit with Smackdown.
I mean, there's also the fact that it doesn't have a lot of resistances either, and is easy to overcome, no thanks to its slow speed, but whatever.
Alright, that's pretty much the end of the video, so do you have any final thoughts?
Funnel what?
I'll take that as a no. Okay, my final thoughts would have been a bit more complex than yours anyway.
You saying that I'm dumb?
No, but I can right now if you want.
Just get on with it.
A recurring theme I found throughout your commentary, and especially you pointing this out in the comments section, was your biggest problem with this list overall was that he never really brought up downsides, which means that he's implying how these Pokemon are straight up unbeatable. Ignoring how that's not fucking true at all, he did bring up downsides for a lot of Pokemon that you skipped and even showed in your original video. That's kind of the idea you have to sell for a list like this. Do you know how awkward it would be if every entry he brought up weaknesses? It would kind of take away from the topic more than anything. What I think is the source of all of this is that you're confusing overpowered with unbeatable. Overpowered means that you are, well, overpowering your opponent, defeating your opponent with superior strength. Unbeatable means, well, you can't be bested. You're at the top of your class and nothing can touch you. If he changed this list to top 10 unbeatable Pokemon, then yeah, I would raise some eyebrows too. But you can still win with more on your side while having weaknesses. It's a matter of how easy or how difficult it can be for those weaknesses to be exploited. And considering that this is Pokemon, it really depends on what you're playing with. Overpowered Pokemon get high reputations because of how easily they can etch out above the rest. Of course there's going to be weaknesses. Even the most dominant forces in the metagame have weaknesses, but their strengths are what shine, and that's the point of Mandles' video. Aside from that, there's also the shoddy editing and the audio balancing, blah blah, you got it the first time. Now, I've only seen 2 videos that you were involved in, Kurome, and trust me when I say that this is the best out of the 3 I've seen, but you still have a ways to go. Think more about your points, turn down your goddamn music, and articulate your lines a bit better, and we'll be in a better position.
You know, it's kinda weird.
What is? The fact that there are 2 versions of me doing a commentary at once, and how past me didn't even know what the hell a commentary was and actually kept up?
Well, that, but what really stands out to me is that I had to do this shit with myself, especially since you used a trashy idol anime as an avatar thing.
Okay, we gotta find a way to get you out of here and back in your own time. Yup.
Does that happen a lot?
A lot is an understatement.
There you guys are.
Hey, I told you we'd find the sweet genius.
You know that isn't me.
Oh fuck, it's them again!
Wuss? And those motherfuckers?
But we're not moms.
The shit I have to deal with every goddamn day.
Oh, poor you, man.
How can you all be so down in the dumps when we invented churros?
But you didn't do that though!
But what about the ones at the mini-mart with cream filling?
You know he's got you there.
Listen, today's been really weird. I'm probably gonna forget most of this by tomorrow, but I just want to go home.
Lucky for you, we got another one of the machines working so we can take you back.
Thank fuck.
Get this resolved soon. I'm starting to get tired of the co-op with past self thing after the pirate incident.
Okay, but why innovate when you can just do it better than everyone else?
I think we should go.
Yes, you should, because I don't think past Ty wants to see what kind of hell I'm about to rain down on this Ty.
So how do you want to do this dance? Tango or salsa? Or since I'm an idol character, I think we're all in for something new here.
I'm thinking about doing the double knuckle shuffle on the dance floor featuring Knuckles.
Wow, beating someone with no fighting capabilities? Are you an ape or a pussy?
A few moments later.
Talk shit, get hit, bud.
I say it was worth it. You do know that this changes nothing, right?
Oh, I know. Anyways, I'm gonna go check on something. I'll talk to you later.
Fucking alright, see ya. Oh well, at least I have a new TV. You are the dirtiest, most disgusting cunt I've ever seen.